Hey everybody, on top of the mantle, but it's missing a battery. Sorry, taking care of some business before we get started here. The battery is on the table. Okay. Welcome to this afternoon's live. This is Trisha. I'm with Happy Home Designs and getting ready to make a couple of Christmas ornaments. These are ornaments that trying to click this, hold on. These are ornaments that can either be in your tree or you can use them as shelf sitters. They're fairly small. They may look large here. Sorry, I've got a fly that's bothering me today. Um, but these are actually some items that I picked up from Dollar Tree that I'm going to do a little makeover on and make them become Christmas. So sometimes you just come across something and as soon as you see it, you think, oh, I can use that for whatever, any kind of item, whatever you think about. If it's Easter time, you may be able to use it for an Easter project or so on. But when I first saw these, I knew that these are the perfect size for a large ornament for the Christmas tree. And I knew they're in good condition. Like I said, I got them at the Dollar Tree. They cost $1. And I knew I could make them over and make them into something super cute. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've actually got several of these, but I'm going to use 3 today. They say blessed. It's got a little floral at the top. They're not wood. They're maybe a pressed wood. But I thought they were super cute. I'm thinking I can use this part as like a shadow box. And this up here, I can actually mount my bow, and I always have to have a bow and maybe a little bit of greenery to go with it. So that's what I'm going to do with these today. This should not take very long. It should be a fairly quick project. As you guys hop on, if you will send me a message and let me know that you're here. Hey Jennifer, yes, I am captioned today. But send me a message and let me know that you're here. Sprinkle the video along, whether you're watching it live now or the replay later. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm using 3 of these. The reason I'm using 3 is because it's actually inside each one I'm going to put a letter and it's going to spell out joy. So that's why there's 3. The letters that I'm using are a sticky back stencil. I believe I got these at Michael's. I'm not positive. I'm going to show it up close as I can. I can barely reach. But inside the letter is actually a floral design. I'm going to do these in white. You may see that floral design, but you may not. It really doesn't matter either way. So I've got my J, my O, and my Y. I am also, of course, I'm going to be decoupaging. I've got to cover up the green and the flowers on the inside of this. I chose just a cute, fun, it's very light, Christmas color polka dot. And that's what's going to cover everything up. I've already cut these squares to size, and then I've cut little half moons to go on top to cover up the flowers. So I've already got all that cut out to make it go a little bit faster. And then, of course, I'm going to use some fun ribbons. I haven't used this one yet this year. This is polka dots. It's red with green shimmery polka dots on it, and I thought, okay, it matches the design on the scrapbook paper. And I've got this really, really cute fun ribbon. It is a wire with little bitty white pom-poms on it. It is so cute. And that made me think about the polka dots too. Hey Anna, thank you for joining us. Hey Aunt Barbara, thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to sprinkle along. I'm probably going to use some of my burlap. I'm not positive yet. We'll decide about that in a minute. And I also have a Christmas plaid. Not sure. I usually bring down several accessories and then I can make up my mind as I go. Sometimes I change my mind. And I do have some Christmas greenery that has a little shimmer to it. It's probably a boxwood. I'm not sure what type of plant it's supposed to be, but it's shimmery as if it has ice on it. So I may use that, but we'll see. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and decoupage the insides of my boxes and the top, the little half moon here. So I'm almost out of decoupage. This is Aileen's premium decoupage. I've got it laying on its side because it's almost empty. It's plenty to do this project, but it's just easier to reach. So I'm just going to use a paintbrush and load up. Decoupage is nothing but watered down glue, like a Elmer's school glue, only watered down. And I'm just going to go inside and completely cover this area here. This goes on super easy when I'm using a good brush. Just want to cover all of the area. You don't want to have too much of your glue because it may cause your paper to wrinkle. So you just want to cover it good. I know you guys can't actually see. Sorry, there's a pesky fall fly that's driving me crazy. Every room I go into, he follows me. Okay, so I've got that one loaded up with some glue. Play that right there. And like I said, I've already cut out my decoupage paper. I'm going to cover up the inside of that. Should fit right down in, and it does. Fly's going to drive me crazy. Hey, Diane. Glad you could join today. So I could have painted this on the inside and covered it up that way. To me, it's just easier and it's cuter to use a paper that I like, that has a color scheme that I like, that matches the project that I'm trying to go for. So that's what I chose to do, and that way I can go ahead and continue to work and I don't have to wait on paint to dry. That bottom edge is trying to not stick. Now the half moons that I cut out for the top, gonna go like that. I may have to sand around the edges because it's not cut exactly smooth. But it's so easy to take a sanding block and it just cuts right through that extra paper and it kind of gives it a finished edge. I love it when I come across something like this that is in great condition. They're very, very sturdy, but you know instantly that you can remake it into something else. Now I really probably could have just painted this at the top. You're not actually going to see a lot of this paper. But as you can tell, now I'm kind of starting with a blank slate. So as soon as this dries a little bit, I'll go back and cut off the extra around that top. But I'm going to move on and do my other two. I told you this would not be a long project today. I do have my hot glue gun on. Look, as I said that, I thought I would check just to make sure after yesterday's live where I wasn't totally prepared evidently and was trying to work with a cold hot glue gun. I guess it was a cold glue gun. Glue guns don't work unless you put the heat behind them. So what did you guys think about, I posted earlier, yesterday's project hanging up. That was the Winter Wonderland or Winter Scheme garland that I did yesterday. What did you guys think about that? I thought it turned out super cute. I think it's festive, but it doesn't scream Christmas. It just screams cold. It screams winter. And of course it's not winter until like the 21st of December, but some of our states are already getting that good cold winter weather. Okay, I'm just rubbing this down on the glue. You guys, this is so simple. Decoupaging is so easy. Okay, let me do my top round part, half moon. I did bring out some white apple barrel paint, craft paint. There are a couple of spots on these. It looks like in the store they rubbed up against something and got a different, like this has got a little pink spot on it where it was maybe resting up against something pink. So I'll not touch that up because I don't want that to show. I know you guys probably can't see it, but it would drive me crazy knowing it's there. Hey, Chloe. Hey, Lisa. So you liked it, you Lisa, huh? I thought it turned out really cute. I really did. I was happy with that. And I did not make it the way that banner was intended to be used. It was intended to have letters inside each one of those circles to spell out Be Merry. So it's a Be Merry banner. And I did not, so I've got two of these. I didn't do that, but I've got all the elements so I can go back and make a Be Merry if I want to. Okay, moving on to number 3. And if I don't get rid of that one, before the holidays. I'm gonna have to use it in my new house, but I won't have a fireplace in this house. But I do have a built-in in the living room that I think is the perfect length to hang a garland across the top of the built-in for the holidays or for the winter season. So I may get to use that one for myself. We'll see. Okay, get this one glued down. This is going pretty quick. So do you guys all shop at the Dollar Tree? Do you like to go into those inexpensive stores and kind of browse around? And sometimes you see things that are not super cute, or they're kind of cute but they're still cheap looking. And then sometimes you see things that you're like, hey, I like that. I can take that home and use it just the way it is. So I love to go into those stores. Dollar Tree is my friend. Okay, so I've got that one done on the inside. Let me do the half moon and we'll be done decoupaging. Don't forget, as you hop on, I can tell how many eyeballs are watching, but I can't tell who all's here. So if you will, send me a message and let me know that you're here. Also, don't forget to sprinkle the video. Sprinkling is inviting your friends to watch. They can watch now or they can watch later. They can watch the replay. That's totally fine. But if you will sprinkle along, we would greatly appreciate that. And let me know when you sprinkle. Sprinkle is another word for S-H-A-R-E. That's the legal word that we're allowed to use on Facebook. Okay, I'm done with the decoupage. Let me get rid of it. Hey, Cindy. Get that out of the way. And now, I'm going to lay it over here. Now I'm going to go on to the sanding that top edge of these half moons. I'll go back to the first one of the first ones I got done. I've just got a sanding block. It has a rough side and a smoother side. Thank you, Cindy. And literally I'm just going to go around the edge. It pretty much just cuts the paper off the edge, any extra paper that hangs over. Sorry for the noise. Maybe the rough side. And that way you don't have any extra hanging around the edges. A little spot right here that's being tough. Sometimes that sound drives me crazy. And sometimes I don't mind it at all. Just try not to sand too much because I don't want to take off the paint that was already on that surface around the edges. So you can see it literally just cuts it and peels it off like this. It's just easier when you decoupage. You can cut out your paper to whatever shape, but if you have edges, it's so much easier to let it hang off the edge and give it a sanding to get rid of all that extra stuff. Hey, Ruth. You're one of Dawn Webb's friends. Oh, thank you. Well, there should start being a lot of replays on there to watch. I am trying my best to go live 4 to 5 times a week at least in order to grow this community. And I really just want to be an inspiration to people, to let you know that you can be creative in your own home and you don't have to spend a lot of money to make your house feel like a really cozy home. That's what I like to do. Anyway, Ruth, I'm glad that you're here. Invite your friends along. Okay, almost got this one, and then I'll clean up my mess. These are going to be so cute. I'm not sure right now, because it's going to spell out the word joy with a letter inside each one. When you hang them on your Christmas tree, they would need to be in order so that you realize that it's actually spelling out a word, but not in a straight line, but maybe the J and the O and the Y off to the side, but that would be cute. Or these would be cute just sitting on a tabletop, like a shelf sitter. Okay, so there's all three of my boxes. They are decoupaged. It's just a fun polka dot Christmas color. Came in a Christmas pack of paper. They're light green, light red, different varying shades of green, polka dots, and red. Let me get my mess up here. Move that off to the side. Okay, so now what I'm going to do before I do the decorating on the top, I am going to actually put my letters on the inside. Now remember, I'm using a stencil. These are individual letters. They are sticky back. Some of these I've never used before. I've used certain letters, but not all of them, because whatever I was spelling out at the time, I didn't need all the letters. But the J and the Y are brand new. I think I've used the O before. But they stick on the back, so they're very sticky. They're trying to think of what they're actually made out of, and I can't describe it to you. But the stencil is right here, and it's actually got a screen in it that I will rub my paste through. I'm going to be using Chalk Couture ink today, and Meadow is the color. So I think that'll stand out really well on that white background with the polka dots, and it matches some of the polka dots. So what I'm going to do is, you're supposed to fuzz these first since they're brand new. You want to get a little bit of lint on the back of it so it won't stick too hard to the paper and then peel the paper up too. So I'm just going to stick it on my shirt. And then I know you can't see this, but I'll hold it up and show you. I'm going to get my letter in the middle of my box. Mash it down. I think I've got it a little bit off center. You know, with the J, it's hard to tell what's centered and what's not, because you got the little hook you have to take into consideration. Get it in there. Okay, so I've just stuck it down. There's my J. I'm going to open up my ink. This one may be a brand new one, I'm not sure. No, I've opened it before. Let me peel off my, oh, it's still got a plastic layer. That's okay. I'm actually going to use this little bit that's here. Don't want to waste any of my ink, saving my money. And then, so I put it on a squeegee, and then you just take your squeegee and you rub over your silk screened area. So these are very similar to the Chalk Couture stencils that I normally use, because they are sticky, they are reusable, and they have the silk screen. I can get my finger in there and raise it up. There we go. There's my J. So cute. So it is a floral design in the back of the J. Not really, yeah, it's floral and leaves. I don't know if you guys can tell that or not, but it's super cute. So there's my J. I'm going to lay this to the side, my paper. Let me do my O. Got ink on my finger. Hey Paula, thank you for watching. Okay, now I've got my O. I'll do the exact same thing with it. Just get it in the middle the best I can. Stick it down. Just kind of rub it. Make sure I think it's centered. I think that looks pretty good. Get my green ink up and rub it on. I absolutely love creating pretty things. I love it when I get finished, I'm like, oh yeah, that turned out even cuter than I thought, or whatever. Sometimes it doesn't, and then I have to fix things, but that's okay. That's part of crafting. Okay, there's my O. The O actually looks a lot like a Christmas wreath. So I have my O, I have my J. See where we're going with this. Move these back down out of the way. And now I have to do my Y. And remember, this looks plain. It's super plain, but I'm going to decorate them up. I'm going to add the bow, a refabbed bow to the top. Some greenery. May put some greenery down in the corner. This one's stuck really good. This one is also brand new. I've never used it. So let me get it stuck on my shirt for a minute. Get my Y laid in here. It's definitely crooked. When I picked these little boxes up at the Dollar Tree, they actually had another style too. And it was a square top, but they only had a couple, and I knew I needed 3 to spell out joy. I bought the 2 square topped, but I'm just not using them for this project. Okay, got my ink on that one. I actually went over the edge of my stencil just a little bit and got some ink on my paper, I think. Yep, just one little spot. But I'm going to take a baby wipe and just touch it up with my finger. I probably could have left it and you guys would have never seen it. And now you actually may see where I fixed it. Okay, so we have our joy. Just like that. Starting to look like Christmas ornaments. What do you guys think? Okay, so that's the beginning of the process. Well, actually, that was the middle. Oh, I forgot. I do need to touch up some of the paint. Some of the edges were a little bit rough, and I want to fix it. They almost all have a little bit of pink on them. I'm actually going to squirt it on my paper. Get a paintbrush. This is just apple barrel white. I'm not putting a full coat on this. I'm literally just going to touch up some spots along the edges that were scratched a little bit. And that happened in the store. It may have happened in the bag. You know how everything gets thrown in a grocery type bag. But I didn't want those scratches to show. So I will just fix them up. You guys probably couldn't see the scratches to start with, but I could tell that they were there. And this paint, it dries super fast, and besides that, I'm barely using any at all. There's a spot in there. Just a couple of spots. I could have blow dried these, but it won't take long enough to dry to make it worth the blow dryer. Okay, so I'm going to let them sit and dry. Just get them over here out of the way. Don't see any more rough spots. Wipe that off. Let me wipe up where I put my paint on my surface there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I do need to decorate the tops of these. And I also have to put something on them to hang in case I want to hang them on the tree. I'm going to use jute for that. And literally just make a hook at the top like this to go on the Christmas tree. And it would be cute just sitting there like that too. I'm going to go ahead and do the jute part right now. I'm just going to hot glue it on. These don't hardly weigh anything at all, so hot glue will be fine. Of course, it's got wet paint on the front. I'm just going to put a little strip of hot glue in 2 spots down the side, the back. Hot glue is my best friend, it seems. And then I'll take my jute and lay it right in the glue. Make my loop, just like that. And that will be my hanger. Look how fast it dries. Love hot glue. But just to make sure that it's good and secure, I'm cutting off the extra back here. That paint's already dry. Just to make sure it's good and secure, I will put a little bit more right along the edge of it. Okay, one down, two more to go. Paint's dry. So what is everybody doing today besides watching videos on Facebook? The weather in Tennessee is absolutely gorgeous right now. So sunshiny. It would feel good to be outside, but I've not really been outside at all. Just step out on the back porch and do a couple of projects I have to heat or have to spray a sealer on. You know what? This one, I didn't get this as long. That's not going to work. I want those to be about the same length. I'm going to take that one off. I actually pulled it out of my wrong pile. I had measured out some jute that were all the right size. Good thing about hot glue, you can almost always take it off before it dries, especially. This is the right piece. Before it dries, you can take it off sometimes after it dries. Not so much this glue that I'm using, because I'm using Gorilla Glue. You guys seen the Gorilla Glue commercials about using the actual glue products? The same pretty much holds true with the hot glue. Once you use this stuff, it really does not want to let go. Put a little extra down the side. There we go. I wanted them to kind of match in length. This one. This is so easy. Just like that. Yes, Jennifer, the weather is gorgeous. You're cleaning your house. You got a lot going on next week. I don't think I've heard about your next week's plan. Oh, well, I do know part of your next week's plan is a big surgery. But this is a yay surgery. Okay, so now I have my Joy. I'll have a little handle on each one. If I set these on the mantle, that's cute enough. It stands there by itself. Getting your watch on today. But I'm also going to add a lot of pretty at the top. So I'm going to set these aside, start with my J. So I think what I'm going to do, I have this out and I can break this apart and use bits and pieces, and I might, but I really, really, really want to use this. I've not used it before. It is wire pom-pom, and it's so cute. And when you put it in a project with other ribbon, it kind of stands out on its own. I really want to use that. So I may skip this. Not positive. My throat gets dry when I'm talking. But I know I'm going to use this greenery. It looks like wintertime to me. I'm going to pull pieces off. I don't want a whole lot. Maybe just 2 sprigs on each one. We'll see. Excuse me. So what I'm thinking is that my sprigs will be at the top. Something like that. I know that's not right, that's crazy, but the bow will be in the middle. So I'm just going to play around with it for a minute, okay? Oh, thank you for sprinkling, Hope. I'm going to play around with it and see how I like it. Excuse me. Trying to think, I may actually put my bow on first, and that way I will know where to add my sprigs. I think that's the way I'm going to go. Okay, I showed you guys at the beginning this ribbon. I've had this for a long time. I don't have a lot left of it. But it reminded me of the polka dots on the back of this. It's polka dots, and this is red with a green shimmer polka dot. Makes it look green and gold. Hey, Jessica. So I think I'm going to use that. I don't need very much at all. It's not going to be a long piece. It's going to be a tiny bow. I think I'm just going to do a refabbed bow where you scrunch together. I don't even think I'm going to layer a whole lot. So we're going to see how this turns out. I've got it in my mind. We'll see if it turns out the way my brain is thinking of it. It's always a surprise. What are you up to today, Jessica? So I know whatever bow I end up with, I want them to all be identical. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut 3 strips of this, one for each topper. Make them about the same length. So if you guys don't know what a refabbed bow is, refabbed comes from the maker of the bow who I first saw do this, and that's Brooke Riley at refabbed.com. And it's just a messy bow. So this is a version of her messy bow. It's not going to be super messy because I'm not doing a lot of layers, but a little messy. I'm actually going to dovetail each end of this. I know it's tiny, you guys. I know it's super small, but that's okay. You'll see where we're going. I don't want it to be big because I want my greenery to show. You went grocery shopping? Emmett's giving you problems today, huh? So when you dovetail, you just fold it in half, cut upward towards your wired side, and then when you open it, you have the points on each side. Except I didn't do that one just right. I didn't have it folded just right. Babies are like that, Jessica. Owen is down for a nap, his second nap today, actually. Hey, Lexi. Hey, Corey. Owen's down for a second nap, but he's been kind of fussy today, too, so. Even nannies have hard times with babies. Not every day, but certain days. So I'm just going to do each one the same way. I'm just cutting out towards that at an angle towards the wired edge, so it's dovetailed on both ends. These are going to be tiny bows. That fly is driving me crazy. Yeah, well, I do believe the full moon affects our kids for sure. And yeah, I think it takes a couple of days to get over it. Okay, so I know I'm using this. I think I'm going to use a little bit of my burlap too. I love to use burlap because it adds that natural element. And plus I use jute at the top for my hanger, so the burlap will match it. I'm just going to cut little tiny pieces of that. I don't dovetail this because it'll just fray. I think it will go behind the red. It'll just make it stand out a little bit more poofy. And I think I am going to use the same ribbon, same color ribbon. So it is just a plaid, red and green plaid. It matches the red and green polka dots, and it's going to be tiny pieces too. So I'm doing all 3 of these at one time. Okay, so I'm cutting all my elements at one time, and then we'll put them together. Try to make this go a little bit faster by doing 2 at a time. I don't always dovetail my ribbon, but I just think these are going to be such tiny bows that maybe it needs it, just to make it be a little bit fancier. Fold this. Okay, that's 2. They're both dovetailed. And so it's going to lay right on top of this piece of ribbon. I know you can't see that really well, which is also going to lay right on top of the burlap. And you will see all 3 layers once I get it together. I folded this one in half and in half again to do all 4 points at one time. Okay. So, I've got burlap, I've got this piece, I've got this piece that goes on top, just like that. So I've got 3 little pieces. But when I actually tie this up, I'm going to scrunch it in the middle, and it almost looks like a bow tie. Something like that. But before I do that, I am going to cut some of this pom-pom ribbon. The pom-poms are going to stick off. I'm going to do a couple of them on each one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to make sure they're the right length. This pom-pom ribbon's a little bit expensive, but I think it's going to add a cute element. I think I need one more. And I think it just matches the polka dots. All right, so I've got some jute cut to tie with. I'm going to make my bows. 1, 2. Lost one of my pieces of jute. I've got another piece down here if I can reach it. Okay, so I'm going to take all my elements together, all 3 of my layers. This one was already put together from a minute ago. I'm going to add in, just under my thumb, crisscrossing those pom-poms, kind of making an X out of them. I'm going to take my jute, lay it right across the top of that X, flip it upside down, scrunch it, and tie it in a knot. So easy. Couldn't be any easier. Now, the only difficult part of this one is that it's so small to work with. But how small it is what's going to make it so cute. Tie it as tight as I can. Tie it in a knot, flip off the extra. And then, once I open it back up, you kind of fluff it. So you can see all the different colors of the ribbon. See the little pom-poms, how cute. And now I have a little bitty bow that will go on top of my ornament, like that. Cute. Okay, so I'm gonna add, let's see, I'm gonna stick this on and then I'm gonna tuck in the greenery around behind it, okay? So I'm gonna put a little hot glue. Stick it right smack in the middle. I've been anxious to use this pom-pom ribbon. I really like it. All right, I see more people are hopping on. As you join in, you guys sending me a message and let me know who's here. Let me know who's watching. Okay, so that's the first bow. Isn't that cute? I'm thinking, you guys, the more I think about it, I think I need something in the bottom corner. I'm thinking that maybe my greenery needs to be down there somewhere. That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Or am I going to do my greenery up here in my bow, sticking out of my bow? I think it needs to be at the bottom. So tell me, while I'm working on these other bows, you guys tell me what you think. Let me get some of my mess out of the way here. Okay, I've got all my ribbons in a pile. Take my pom-poms and make an X. There's my X. Get my jute in the middle. Scrunch it. Flip it. Tie it in a knot. I really do want these to all be identical. I want everybody to know if I put them on the tree, if I sell them and somebody uses them on their tree or whatever, I want everybody to know it's a set. That when you look at the J, you're supposed to look at the O and the Y and know that it spells out joy. So I want to make them identical as far as the decorations on them. Okay. Okay, there is bow number 2. I just think these are playful. Super fun. I'm trying to fluff it, but I'm doing it backwards so you guys can see. I think it's cute. You can see, when you're up close, you can see all of the layers. You can see the burlap, you can see the polka dots, you can see the plaid, and it definitely matches that polka dot paper. You think it's cute just like it is, Jennifer, with no greenery? Jennifer is saying no greenery at the top or the bottom. I don't know. I don't know if I can go no greenery. Somebody else help me. Somebody else vote so I can take it a poll. Okay, so there's my O. Got hot glue strings. There's my J. Move them off to the side. Let me work on this one. I lost a piece of my ribbon. Probably it is in the floor. I'm just going to cut another one. It's okay. It was this one that I lost. I do actually have another treat. You would say the top, Ruth? That's where I had intended it to be to start with. Was it the top? Definitely greenery, Hope says. Hope, I think we think alike. The other option would be, instead of greenery, I can see these little bitty balls. I'm going to pull one off. You see these little bitty gold and red balls on greenery? I think they're super cute too. The other option would be to add them. I could add them on this side, like that, just to add a little color. Now, after I see it, I don't like that with the white pom-poms. Oh, Jennifer meant keep it all up top. Good deal. That's what we'll go with. If my friend said keep it all up top, that's what I will go with. Okay, so I've got all these layered. Let me crisscross my pom-poms. Get my jute. Got my X made. Scrunch it like a bow tie. Flip it over. So this is a version of a refab bow, but it's not really the way Brooke Riley does hers. It's a knockoff. I'm doing it similar, taking her design style and then making it work for my project, which is what crafting is, you guys. It's not necessarily doing what everybody else does or the same way or liking the same thing everybody likes. It's liking what you like and what makes you happy and what fits into your home style and enjoying it. I'm just trying to fluff it out a little bit, and let me get it glued on. Right on top of the Y. Hold it down for a second. I think they're super cute. I am going to add the greenery to the top then. That was the verdict. Just pulling off some of the glue strings. All right, so we have our J, our O. So if we set these on the mantle, they would definitely go together, right? And now I'm going to add the greenery to the top. I think I'm going to tuck it behind the bow. Just playing with it to see where I think it's going to fit the best. And I'm actually going to snip it and make it a little bit shorter. And tuck it in. Put a little bit of glue on the end. I kind of want it to stick up out of the top a little bit. One good thing about using greenery. Yeah, Jessica, I'm thinking mantle for sure. But on the Christmas tree too. I mean, either way, you can't lose. One good thing about using greenery, you don't have to use it the way it comes on the stem from the store. Make it whatever shape and size you need it to be. And guess what? You get so many projects out of one piece. Does that look silly? Oh, it kind of looks like ears. Does it look like ears, you guys? Or is that okay? Maybe I need one more little piece at the bottom, like that. What do you think? I'm asking opinions. I'll listen to opinions, and I may or may not do it that way. Because we all like what we like. I think it needs the little piece in the bottom. So that's without the piece in the bottom. And this would be kind of what it would look like with a piece in the bottom. Not sure. Set that to the side. You think it's cute, Jessica? Thank you for the opinion. I wouldn't be mad if you didn't like it though. We all like different things. Anyway, back to the greenery. Even these tiny pieces that I'm clipping off, I will save those. You never know when you're going to need a little piece to fill in a hole somewhere. This is not a lot of color, not a lot of extra greenery. It just gives it a little, makes it a little more festive. Oh, I did a lot of glue. A lot of glue on that one. Got my J and my O. Let me get my Y and we will be finished. But when I get finished with this, I want to show you guys something that I did. You think I need to add it to the bottom? That's what Hope said. Ruth said another idea would look cute for the others to do some greenery on top. And I do have pine cones, Ruth. Do some greenery on top and a few pine cones. I do actually have some tiny pine cones. I brought them down to the table today just in case. I never know if I'm going to change my mind and need something. So I could put a pine cone or two at the top, a pine cone in the corner. I do believe that everything needs to have a little natural element. That's why I go with the burlap and the jute, even if I'm using gold trimmed ribbon like I did today, and sparkly ribbon. Got glue strung out everywhere. Okay, so that's what they look like right now. Now that's an idea, Jessica. I don't have many lights, but that's a good idea. So Hope is saying add the greenery at the bottom, like that. Kind of fills in a hole. I like that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use these tiny sprigs I just cut off. And then I'm going to get out some pine cones and we'll see. Actually, I'm thinking, okay, I've changed my own mind. I'm going to do what Hope said, but I'm going to do one, I'm going to do it at the top and the bottom. I've got enough of these little bitty pieces I had just clipped off. Let me do this one and I'll show you. To fill it in with greenery. Let me grab my trash pieces I had that I was saving for later. I lost one of them. I don't know how I'm working in such a small area and I keep losing things. I should have had 4 little pieces. I think I'm clipping them and then they all go flying and I have no clue where it ended up at. I can clip another one though. do like Jessica's idea with the lights. I don't have any lights. That makes it look not quite so much like horns sticking out of the top. Hey, Katie. Glad to see you today. Or glad to see you on. I can't see you. Oh, that's where my other piece was. I've already got it laying on this one. It's just not glued down. This is what crafting is. It is changing your mind, deciding what you like, adding to it, taking it away, whatever. Okay, so that's what we have. So Ruth had mentioned pine cones. I do have pine cones. Got these tiny, tiny little pine cones. I've got a medium size. They're all small, and they smell like cinnamon, and a tiny baby one. No pine cone in the bottom. I don't like the pine cone in the bottom. But you see that I added a little one right there? What do you guys think? I kind of like the pine cone too, with the greenery. Somebody tell me before I glue them down. But while I'm waiting for answers, pine cones or not, this is, I'll put a pine cone right here. I don't know if you guys can see that well enough, but you guys tell me pine cone or no. But I don't think it needs anything in the bottom. I think I want to leave it just like that. But while you're doing that, I'm waiting on some answers. I want to show you what I did this morning. I whipped this up and I thought it was so cute. I thought I just want to show everybody today. Thank you, Jessica. So I got these surfaces. These are chalkboard surfaces. This is the back side. I don't want to show you the front yet. I got them on clearance at michaels.com. Sorry, Drew. Mama can't answer the phone right now. I got these on clearance at Michaels. They're wood. They already have this jute, big, thick jute hanger. They're chalkboard on the front, but they can be double-sided. Let me cut the little price thing off. And let me show you what I did to the front. How cute is that? I love this surface. So this says Merry Christmas. It's got the Christmas village at the bottom and Santa Claus and his reindeer. And it's got a little border here. It's got scalloped edges. So cute. It came with the hanger. It's already hung. And these were on clearance, you guys. Clearance. These were like $26 and I got them for $9. I got several of them, but I thought it was so cute. So the next thing that I need to know is I need opinions. It's double-sided. Well, it's not really, I don't know that it's meant to be double-sided, but it can be, because look, okay, so this is the chalkboard. This is the back of the chalkboard that is just super slick and shiny, black. I can paint or chalk or decoupage on anything. So if I were to make this double-sided, when I make it fall on one side, because look, it just hangs from a jute at the top, a really thick rope jute, or a lot thicker than what I use. Would I do fall on this side and then you flip it over and you've got Christmas? Or would I do an everyday decor, say this has some really cute saying like a Bible verse, a scripture or something, and maybe some flowers or greenery or something painted on it, and then come holiday time, same hook on the wall, you just flip it over and you've got your Christmas sign. What would you guys do? So that's my opinion question. I want other opinions on this. So tell me what you would put on the back side of this. I bought several of them. I'm so excited to get them done. I think it is so cute. I love it when I look up on something like this. But $9 at Michael's on clearance. Excuse me. So tell me what you think. In the meantime, I got one answer on the pine cone. Jennifer said keep the pine cone. I'm going to use the tiny ones and stick it right in the middle, right near that bottom piece of greenery. I do like how natural it looks, especially with all the other whimsical. I got a couple more baby ones. Try to find similar size pine cones. And these pine cones smell like cinnamon. I love them. Dollar Tree, $1 for the entire bag of cinnamon flavored smelling pine cones. And this is today's project. It was super simple. Hope I didn't take up too much of your time today. Thank you guys all. You like both ideas, Ruth? Thank you all for sharing, or for sprinkling the video. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for your interaction and your comments. And look, if I don't see your comment right now on what you think, if this should have Christmas or have fall on the backside or just everyday decor, you can message me later and tell me what you think. But this will be going to a store if I don't sell it first. It'll be going to a store in Bell Buckle, probably by next week. But I bought several of those surfaces. I thought they were so cute. Jennifer, it sounds like this one might be yours. Jennifer said she has a spot in her stairway for that wall hanging, and it would need a Bible verse or something on the other side for year round, and then it can have the Christmas at holiday time. So I think I will do that for you. So anyway, these are my little ornaments from today. Dollar Tree makeovers, so cute. It spells out joy. Put them on your Christmas tree, kind of, like, well, I've got them all out of order. You can do the J. Yeah. I'm looking at myself backwards. The J up high, the O down a little bit lower, and then maybe the Y in the middle. So they're spaced out, but you can tell it spells joy on your tree. Or you just simply set them on your mantle or on your tabletop or whatever. Super cute. So that's a good idea for you guys. Oh, also, they could be hung from a garland. Oh, I think I have to go back to the Dollar Tree and see if I can find some more of these. How cute would this be on a garland? It just hit me that we could do that. So that may be another project for another time. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining. I've enjoyed spending my time with you this afternoon. Send me a message if you have any questions. Don't forget to sprinkle along the video. And I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye.